Hi, I'm Chad with Turf Organics, and today we're going to go over how to help your warm season lawn survive in the winter. Let's get right into the video. Now, all warm season types of turf grass go into some form of dormancy, and some will stay green and some won't. Now, pretty much everybody but South Florida has to make sure that they do not fertilize in the winter time. Your last round of heavy fertilizer should be mid to end of September and maybe into November, depending on your temperatures. Now, this last round of fertilizer should also be getting your lawn ready to go into dormancy, so it should have an equal number of potassium, which is the last number, equal to the nitrogen, or even higher than the nitrogen. If you check out some of my other videos, I go into more in depth about that. Doing that high potassium round will really help your lawn survive during the winter, but the most important thing is to help it recover in the springtime. So make sure you're not giving your lawn heavy nitrogen into fall and into winter, because that can do more damage than good. Another big step to protecting your lawn in the winter time is going to be keep the soil wet. And this goes for all plants. When things are wet, they have a lower freezing temperature. Now, you don't want the grass to be wet, so the morning before a freeze, you want to water. That way the grass and your plants are dry, but the soil is wet. That's really important to help protecting your roots and your soil from the freeze. Also, keeping your lawn at a high mow height year-round is really, really important. All warm season grasses have different mow heights. Most St. Augustines want to be mowed higher. There's a few cultivars that can be mowed lower, so make sure, depending on what type of grass, that you check your mowing height. But in the overall picture with St. Augustine, higher is better. You want to be mowing it 4 inches or higher, summer or winter, year-round. Now, keeping your lawn a little taller in the winter will help also protect it from freezes. So make sure if you have a freeze coming, don't mow the night before, and keep those blades high when you do come to mow in the winter. Taller grass is better in this situation. Now, after the freeze, you're going to have brown grass. And guys, I know you guys love your lawn, but that is okay. It's the winter time. Your lawn's supposed to be green. Yes, we live in Florida now. You South Florida folks, you may have a green year round. Yeah, we don't want to hear it. But for the rest of us that live in the real world, your grass is gonna go brown. After a freeze, this is part of normal, and you will see yellowing, purpling, and red all on the blades. That's all frost damage, temperature stress, whatever you want to call it. It's a form of stress from fluctuating temperatures and or freezes. So you're going to see a lot of weird things in the lawn that don't look good, but as long as you've been maintaining your lawn healthy for the year and not over fertilizing in the winter, you're okay. Now, one big thing you can do after a freeze, make sure it's not going to freeze the next night, but once the cycle of freezes are done, make sure to water the next morning after a freeze, because the soil can become frozen, or also that cold air can dry it out as well. So that way we're getting moisture back in. If the soil's frozen, the water will help defrost it. If it got dried out from those freezing temperatures, we'll get moisture back into there. That way the roots can pick up, because don't forget, the grass is brown, but it's still alive. And look, and again, no fertilizer. Let the lawn be. Also, don't go mow right away. Only mow the lawn as needed. I would say give it a few days after a freeze if your lawn's really tall and it needs to be mowed, but especially after a freeze, it's stunted and it's not going to be growing. So if the lawn does not need to be mowed, don't mow it. This is your time to break. Some of you love it, I know, but this is your time to break, relax. Let the lawn be. Mowing it's only going to cause more damage, and you can even have tracks from where you were walking, and your tire tracks of your mower can be dead because the grass blades, instead for folding over, will bend and break, just like in a drought stress. So it's a very similar thing. Stay off the lawn. In this instance, nothing is better. A big myth about winter is that you don't need to water. Yes, you do. You need to water a lot less, but still make sure your lawns at least get 1 good day a week of watering, and no short zones. Make them just as long as your summer zone. So if you were watering your lawn 40 minutes in the summer, you should be watering it 40 minutes in the winter. The only difference is you're doing it 2 to 3 days a week in the summer, where the winter you'll only be doing 1, but make sure to keep that water going. The brownest of lawns that you're seeing are the driest of lawns. Now, those lawns should recover, but they'll be slower, and maybe some spots will be damaged where they need soil. So now you're going, Cat, I'm listening to this, and I didn't do any of your tips. I didn't water, I fertilized, and my lawn's super brown. Is it dead? Will it come back? How do I know? You don't really know. You're gonna have to live with your decisions, and you're gonna have to sleep on it for the wintertime. You just hibernate the lawn like a bear for the wintertime, because we're not gonna be sure. The best thing you can do is wait for new growth in the spring and be patient. Don't do it early, but when spring comes around, apply a proper spring fertilizer, no extra, but just a proper spring fertilizer, and wait for new growth. Some areas of your lawn are coming back, some aren't. I would give it a good month into springtime, and areas that aren't recovering and taking really slow to come back may need to just be replaced or top dressed with some soil. But the only way to really determine that will be over time once spring comes. So no worries in thinking about it now. Enjoy your break out of your lawn, even if you love it during the winter time. When spring comes, you'll get right back on it. So if you're coming here hoping I was going to teach you how to make your lawn green all year, sorry, this isn't the video because it's not supposed to be. My only advice for that is move to South Florida. But for the rest of us, we will have warm season grass that will be brownish. It's brown in some areas, green in others. The lawn across your street may be greener than yours. All that's okay, as long as you're taking the proper steps and following this advice, which will help guarantee a better recovery and also a faster recovery. That's the best you can do. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If this video helped you, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. I'm Chad with Turf Organics. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.